Time now for The Real Estate Connection with Stephen Theard, a realtor and certified probate and real estate specialist. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer or a seasoned investor looking to downsize, move up, or refinance, this program is for you.
A house in the middle of our street.
From probate sales to landscape design to home repairs and maintenance, this is your weekly look into all things real estate. Now your host for The Real Estate Connection, Stephen Theard.
Hey everybody, thank you for joining me again on another episode of The Real Estate Connection, brought to you by Good Patriot Realty. A salute to home ownership. All right. Good Patriot Realty salutes the American dream of owning a home and building generational wealth. And I just want to thank you all for joining me here today. All right, I'm going to check the fade level on this thing. There we go. It's a little grainy today. Anyway, if you have any questions regarding real estate, whether you're looking to retire, looking to move up, move down, or just invest, give me a call, 408-472-0817. Again, 408-472-0817. And without any further delay, we're going to jump right on into the topic. So the topic of today's show is retirement. Rent or buy a retirement home. But as a bonus, we're going to cover an article in Realtor.com that talks about the best places to retire in the United States of America right now. So that's a bonus for you guys listening to me. And if you don't want to miss another episode, just send me an email at info@realestateconnectionradio.com with your name and your email address, and I'll be happy to add you to my podcast distribution list. And you can find me on Apple Podcasts and Podbean. And let me pull that graphic up so that you guys can see. That's right. Apple Podcasts. That's right. Listen for The Real Estate Connection with your host, Stephen Theard with Good Patriot Realty at Apple Podcasts, and you can find me there. So just wanted to show you that. All right. So one thing that goes on in a recession that never stops happening, recessions, wars, famines, whatever, people are doing things. They're getting married. They're having kids. They're getting divorced. People are passing away, and people are retiring, and they're working and retiring. And so I'm going to hit the retirement piece today and talk about whether it makes sense to rent or to buy, and what are the pros and cons of that, and also kind of kick down some extra information about where are the best places to retire based on Realtor.com's article in 2022. So I would say that now is a good time to squeeze equity out of your home because it's a hot market, but it's no longer a hot market. We've hit the R word. We've had 2 straight quarters of down gross domestic product production in the United States of America, and by definition, that puts us into a recession. So there are a lot of people that have pulled out of the marketplace because they're going to sit on the sidelines and wait to see what happens. Now, the smart money doesn't do that. The smart money always goes the opposite of the crowd. So the crowd is now run to the sidelines, and for all you real estate investors out there that purchased real estate to invest and rent out, you're golden. There's always money to be made in the market, no matter what type of economy is that we're dealing with in our nation. When we're in a down economy, investment properties are king, right? Because everybody has decided to run to the sidelines and sit down and say, I'm going to wait and see what happens. And so what does that mean? They're renting. Everyone needs a roof over their head. So you're either buying or you're renting. So you're going to pay a mortgage. You're either going to pay your landlord's mortgage or you're going to pay your own mortgage. So people have chosen to pay their landlord's mortgage. And for people who own real estate investment properties, there's a high demand and low supply. So what does that mean? It's time to raise the rents. You can get away with it. There's people waiting in line to rent a house because they're all waiting to see what happens. But the smart money always goes against the tide. So people, if you're looking to do investment or maybe to retire, even though you may not be getting as much out of your home as you would have in a hot real estate market, your purchasing power has gone up, which means you can afford more house for less money because the prices of homes are going down as sellers are having to compete with a limited amount of buyers in the market in order to get their homes sold, which means that they're having to drop their pricing down to fair market value or maybe just below, and then you can actually negotiate. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. So, what are the pros of being able to rent when you do decide to rent? One of those pros is you get to learn the neighborhoods and understand the traffic patterns in the area. Now, right? So you're retiring, you're going to be 55 or over. You've been living in the same place maybe your whole entire life, and you have your streets memorized. You know all the back roads, you know exactly where to go, exactly the shortcuts, and you know where the traffic light patterns are when there's traffic, commute, which ways to get not get caught in traffic and all that good stuff. But if you're going to move to an area that you're totally unfamiliar with, then you're going to have time, if you do rent, to get to know the neighborhoods and the traffic patterns. Also, if you rent, you're going to get to learn your preferred places for recreation. So I know that if you might be living in an area now where you have your favorite hiking trails or biking trails, or if you're into motorcycles, your favorite places like you like to go on back roads, or your beaches that you want to visit, or the lakes, your fishing holes, things of that nature, your favorite shopping spots. You know where the big box stores are because we all do. But do you know the mom and pops? Do you know the small specialty stores where you know you always get a great deal? You know the owner, or where to get your vacuum cleaner repaired, or call for services for your house, right? You've developed those relationships in where you're living now, but when you move to an area that you're not sure of, you get to know those places as well. Also, entertainment. Where are the local movie theaters at? Where are the local live music venues, whether you're into country, jazz, or just live rock style music in general? Where are the venues at? What are the times of the year that they have the best acts or concerts coming through? And then also for us older people, 55 and over, not quite there yet. This month though, double nickels, double nickels. Where do you go for medical services, right? Where are your doctors located at? So if you rent, you have time to establish and learn the area as far as understanding your neighborhoods. And then you can take your time finding your replacement property to purchase, right? You can look around, get used to it, figure out what neighborhoods you like or don't like. And being a buyer with cash in hand and no need to sell another property puts you at an advantage in today's real estate market, especially now, right? Because buyers aren't out there. And if you're a strong all cash buyer, your negotiation power just went through the roof, literally. And so that is a big, giant pro for renting first before you buy, especially if you're moving out of California. So a lot of my listeners are listening to me in the state of California, and you're even with the market coming down a little bit, right? If markets are going down everywhere, still your equity and purchasing power is a lot stronger coming out of California than most states. So maybe instead of selling your house for $1,250,000, you're selling your house for $1,150,000 or $1,001,000. You still are selling your house for $1,100,000. And if the prices are declining in areas that you're looking to move into, which we will discuss, then your buying power goes up. And maybe you can buy even a bigger house than you could have in the past because the price of housing is going down everywhere. So we've teased this a little bit, and so we're just going to jump right on into it right now. We've been teasing it. So Realtor.com came out with an article on August 1st or 2nd of this year. And it was written by, got to give credit where credit's due, by Sarah Ventiera. And at the bottom, it always gives some deets about her, the author's background. And so we're going to read that because I think if you've been published, then you deserve to get the kudos that you've worked so hard to get. What does it say? Sarah is a journalist based in New York City and LA, so she understands both the East and West Coast. She writes about food, travel, and real estate for Zagat, foodnetwork.com, the BBC, travel, and more. So Sarah, big round of applause to you for writing this article right now. So she was looking at metropolitan areas across the United States that don't have a median price home of more than $500,000. So number one for the most best affordable places to retire in the United States is Traverse City, Michigan. That's right. Median home list price there is $390,000. And she says from June through late October, Traverse City boasts near perfect weather, making it an ideal place to live for anyone who wants to enjoy an active retirement. All right, so what's number 2? Portland, Maine. The median home list price in Portland, Maine, according to this article, is $469,000. And she goes on to say this vibrant port city has a ton going for it. Gorgeous waterfront views, as well as vibrant restaurants, bars, and cultural scenes. Because of all of that, a lot of second homeowners and retirees have been snapping up homes and condos throughout the city. What's number 3? Salisbury, Maryland. Salisbury, Salisbury, Maryland. My dad lives in Maryland. It's a beautiful state. I've recently visited it because of some medical issues that he was going through. But it's set on a barrier island between the Atlantic Ocean and the Isle of White Bay. Maryland's bucolic eastern shore is where urbanites from Baltimore and Washington, D.C. go to relax when the swamp starts to get steamy. All right, so that's number 3, and we'll round it off with number 4. And I think a lot of you out there might have heard of this place. It's called Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Young families and the grandparents who follow them have been flocking to Myrtle Beach in droves over the past couple of decades for multiple years in a row. The coastal city that boasts 60-mile-long beach has been one of the fastest-growing metros in the United States, and the median list price for Myrtle Beach, South Carolina is $328,000. Now, if you're coming from California and you've been in your house for 20 plus years and you're walking away with over $500,000 in equity, right? A list price of $328,000 leaves you buying a house for cash and money in the bank. So back to our discussion of whether or not it's better to rent or to lease a property, right? Here are some other advantages to renting a home. The landlord is responsible for maintenance and repairs, and the tax laws change regarding write-offs for mortgages, interest, and you can only take $10,000 for property taxes, and there are new limits for mortgage interest deductions up to a $750,000 loan. All right, but there are downsides to renting as well. You are subject to rent increases at the whim of your landlord. And your landlord could decide to move their mother, son, or daughter at any time into the property that they're renting and force you out. So there is a sense of instability if you're looking to rent long term. So let's talk about the advantages of purchasing a home instead of buying. Right. So when you buy a home, you get to decide when to move and how long you're going to stay. Buying a home mostly relates to you'll be able to fix your home living expense for the next 30 years, which means stability. You never have to worry about rent increases. You can have potential lower payments in the future if you refinance to a lower rate, and peace of mind. You get to decide. And also, if you buy a home for cash, it dramatically reduces your living expenses. You don't have a mortgage. All you have to deal with is property taxes and overhead. You can go ahead and get a part-time job and kick it and just keep on trucking. You can also, if you need to, use the equity in your home to pay for long-term care insurance through a reverse mortgage, and you can build generational wealth and pass it on to your people that are in your family. And we're going to wrap this up with the next places that are most popular, most affordable to live, top 10 in the United States of America, according to this article written by Realtor.com. So we hit Myrtle Beach, which was number 4. Number 5 is Bloomington, Illinois, and the median home list price is $169,000. Property taxes are notoriously high in Illinois, and there's a flat income tax of 4.95%, according to the article. However, the land of Lincoln is the only state in the Midwest that doesn't tax 401k, IRA, and pension income, according to this article. I am not an investment advisor, so I'm just reading what was written. Number 6 is Port St. Lucie, Florida, with a median home list price of $377,000. And then number 7 is Syracuse, New York, with a median home list price of $179,000. And then number 8 is Wilmington, North Carolina, with a median home list price of $407,000. Number 9 is Concord, New Hampshire, with a median home list price of $397,000. And last but not least, at number 10 is St. Louis, Missouri, with a median home list price of $244,000. So that's it. If you're thinking about retirement and whether you want to rent or lease and you have more specific questions about your fact pattern, give me a call, Stephen Theard at Good Patriot Realty at 408-472-0817. Again, 408-472-0817. And I would be happy to help you with your fact pattern, or if there's anything local that you need residential real estate with help with, call Stephen Theard, Good Patriot Realty. A salute to home ownership, where we salute the American dream of owning a home and building generational wealth and private property rights. Elections are coming up. Vote for people who are going to support owning your own home and the private property rights that come along with it. And with that, we're going to end the show with our saying that we use every week, which is Joshua 1:9. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. With that, I'm going to leave you with this beautiful sunrise and the podcast image. God bless you. God bless your family. Be safe, stay healthy, and God bless the United States of America. And we'll see you next week on another episode of The Real Estate Connection with your host and podcast real estate broker, Stephen Theard, 408-472-0817.
This has been The Real Estate Connection with Realtor and Certified Probate and Real Estate Specialist, Stephen Theard. Licensed Cal BRE number 0170019. For more information on this program, visit realestateconnectionradio.com. To contact Stephen directly, call 408-472-0817 or email info@realestateconnectionradio.com. And be sure to tune in next week at this time for The Real Estate Connection.